Possible 15-point question. How successful was the New Deal in solving the problems of the Depression? The Wall Street crash of October 1929 created a depression that would last up until World War II. It had many effects upon the American people. Banks closed as they ran out of money due to the panic of the situation. Homelessness increased as homes were repossessed due to the loans that people had taken out to buy and sell shares on the stock market. The photo shows a Hooverville, sarcastically named after the president at the time. Unemployment dramatically increased to 15 million. Crops lay rotting in fields as many farmers had been evicted from their farms, and many had to rely upon the goodwill of charities to simply get by. America during the 1930s was a desperate place, particularly for families with children. Fathers had to wander around America in order to find work. They became known as hobos. Work was scarce and times were hard, as the government did nothing to support their people. In the presidential election of 1932, President Hoover, a big believer in rugged individualism, the belief that people should get themselves out of trouble, simply stated that prosperity was just around the corner. However, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, also known as FDR, promised the American people a new deal designed to provide support for America and bring recovery to its economy. The result was a massive win for FDR and won the vast majority of seats in Congress, America's Parliament. In his first 100 days in office, FDR made many so-called fireside chats to the American public, where he reassured them over radio broadcasts and explained them exactly how he would bring recovery to the USA. This cartoon is pro-Roosevelt and shows him taking out the old phrases and beliefs of President Hoover out in the dustbin. FDR's New Deal was designed to help the unemployed, farmers, the homeless and the hungry. FDR and his Democratic Party created many alphabet agencies that were designed to bring about a recovery. The Agricultural Adjustment Administrative, also known as the AAA, paid farmers to produce less crops. Although controversial at the time, this helped prices of crops to slightly increase, and so too did the farmers' profits. The CWA provided many short-term jobs, ranging from pigeon scaring to sweeping up leaves. Anything that would allow people to get paid and help the American economy. The PWA was for skilled workers. This agency built buildings of use for the public, for example hospitals, dams and airports. The TVA, Roosevelt's most impressive achievement, transformed the desert-like area of the Tennessee into a series of dams built around the River Tennessee. Power was generated from them and water transport and tourist holiday spots were created, and consequently more jobs were created. The New Deal faced a lot of criticism. The Republican Party, the opposition to FDR's Democratic Party, created cartoons like this one. The man with the buckets is shown as the taxpayer who is under increasing pressure to provide money, represented by water, to FDR. The pump is clearly leaking lots of money, and FDR is shown as simply hoping for the best, suggesting that he had no plan for recovery. Others criticise FDR for not doing even more to help the American public. So was the New Deal a success? The bar chart allows us to consider different viewpoints. It is clear that unemployment went down, although it was never solved throughout the 1930s. What seems to be clear is that it was World War II that ultimately brought the USA out of depression. America built and sold weapons such as tanks, planes and warships to countries like Britain and France. Also, the USA's own involvement in the war meant that millions of unemployed men became soldiers and therefore ended the crisis of depression.